Hello, a Rosie math teacher coming at you from my 6th period accelerated grade 7 math class. Today we're working on lesson 6-2, slope of a line. It is a begin day. It is your goal to finish items 1 through 5 on homework today. Thank you so much. Let's go to item number 1. The graph shows the depth in feet of snow after each 2-hour period during a snowstorm. Find the slope of the line. Guys, I have taught you already there are 2 ways we can find slope. One way is changes in y. Please write this now. Changes in y over changes in x. And then the other way is that we can do rise over run. If you decide to get up in the morning and before you even eat breakfast, you rise up out of your bed and you go for a run. Which comes first? Rise. Don't start running while you're still in your bed. You won't get anywhere. So rise before run. Now, we've done it both ways. Today I want to start with changes in y over changes in x. So across from changes in y, draw yourself a little arrow, please and thank you. And then ask yourself, well, what do they mean by changes in y? Does anybody know what I need to find from this graph before I can use changes in y over changes in x? What do I need to know about some of these plotted points? I need to know their what? Well, this is proportional. But right now, that's not actually what I'm asking. Okay, what? Their coordinates, exactly. So, for example, let's go ahead and label 2 coordinates. That's all you need. 2 coordinates. I had some students earlier, they were like, Miss Rose, I don't know which ones to use because look at all those plotted points. There's way more than 2. My encouragement to you is pick any 2 and just run with it. I'm going to choose the 2 easiest ones, the first 2 that I come to. So for right now, everyone in my room, please make an extra plotted bubble on top of those 2 points. Raise your hand if you can tell me the coordinates of the lower ordered point. Ma'am, the one that gave me the answer a moment ago. Go. 2, 0.5. And I need skinnier ink. 0.5. That is the ordered pair that describes my lowest plotted point. Wait if you understand how that describes it. We go across 2. We go up. It wasn't a half of a square, but what are they counting by going up the y-axis, class? 0.5. They're counting by 0.5s, aren't they? If you were to say it like fractions, you would go half 1, 1 and 1/2 2, 2 and 1/2 3. Do you follow how they go up in increments of halvesies? Okay. On my second plotted point, raise your hand if you believe you can correctly tell me that ordered pair. Yes, sir. 4, 1. What do you guys notice? Which coordinate always comes first in an ordered pair? Is it the x or is it the y? It is the x. Excellent. Now remember, we wrote a moment ago, changes in y. Here it is over here. Changes in y over changes in x. So I want you to look at our 2 y values. Guys, I don't care which direction you go, but we want to only look at the y values. So why is my pointer tapping only on the second values in each ordered pair? Because that is the what value? Y. That is the y value. So I'm going to let you decide. Raise your hand if you would like to tell me which direction you would like to go. You can either go from the 1 to the 0.5, or you could go the other way. Raise your hand if you want to decide for the class. Yes, sir. 0. Okay, so we're going to start at 0.5. And we're going to go to the 1 and find the difference. Here's how you do it. 0.5, and we're going to go with that first. Enter this in your calculator now. 0.5 minus 1. Raise your hand when you have an amount. It feels weird going from lesser to greater, but that's okay. Yes, ma'am. Negative 0.5. Negative 0.5. That is your changes in what, class? Y. So write that next to the arrow labeled changes in y. Negative 0.5. Now, we went from the first plotted value of y to the second, and we subtracted from the first to the second, so 0.5 minus 1. Therefore, even though it doesn't matter if you go forward or backward, it does matter once you've picked a direction, you have to stick with it for the x. So for the x, what shall we enter into the calculator first? 2. And then subtract what? 4. Enter that now. 2 minus 4 equaling, raise your hand, yes ma'am. -2 is absolutely correct. So watch this. -2. Enter into your calculators now. -0.5 divided by -2. Raise your hand when you have that amount. Yes ma'am. Equals 0.25. She caught herself. When it's a negative divided by a negative, it ends up being a positive. Exactly. So what is the slope for item number 1? 0.25. Now keep in mind we already know that 0.25 is the slope for number 1. But this time, let's try finding it using rise over run. So this time, I don't even need any of those ordered pairs. I just need to find 2 plotted points. Just for funsies, I'm going to show you guys that you could even pick this plotted point and one that's farther away. Now, what did we already say the slope was, class? Say it again. 0.25. Do you believe me that we're going to find 0.25 again? Watch. Start at your lower plotted point and rise. When you rise, what direction does it go? Up. So is that a positive number or a negative number? It is a positive amount. And do you count? I'll be back. Do you count the sides of the square? Do you count the sides of square? Or do you count by the increments on the y-axis? You count by the increments on the y-axis. So as I rise, I don't say 1, 2. Remember, they're counting by halvesies. So ready? But say it in decimal form. 0.5. What is our numerator? 1. Write that to the side. X marks the spot where I landed at the level of my second plotted point. Now I'm going to run. When I run, will I head to the left or will I head to the right?
To the right.
I will head to the right. What is the x-axis counting by, class? Ones. So what is the value of my run? 4. Hey, if you were to put 1 divided by 4 into your calculator, what is your decimal? Please say it. 0.25. So now we've reminded ourselves there are 2 ways. Use the ordered pair values to do changes in what? Y. Because I said so. Oh, okay, I know what you're asking. Over changes in X. Or you can do rise over run. You got it? Now, raise your hand if you can tell me why it's good to know how to use changes in Y over changes in X. Will there ever be a moment when you need to know how to use that method and not rise over run? When would it be? When they don't give you a what? When they don't give you a graph. What if you didn't have a graph? And what if you didn't have any graph paper to create the graph? So you can use it only with the ordered pairs. So let's scoot down to an item like that. Item number 4. Everybody look on your practice page at item number 4. Do they still ask you to find the slope?
Yes.
Yes. But do they give you a picture where you can do rise over run?
No.
No. But are you still good to go with knowing how to find it? Yes. Right now, for point M and for point N, please circle your Y values right now. What is the first Y value you circle? Say it, class.
5.
5. Excellent. What is your second Y value? 6. Find the changes in Y. So let's try it this time. Earlier, we did it one way. Now let's go the other way. Let's take and guys, remember that this 6 is called the Y's second value. This 5 is called the Y's first value. Let's do second value of Y minus first value of Y. What was the second value of Y? Say it again. 6. What was the first value of Y? Say it again.
5.
And subtract them. I don't even think you need the calculator. What is your amount? 1. Now, since we did second value of Y minus first value of Y, what must we do with the X's? You tell me, please, sir. What must I do with the X's? Can I do first value of X minus second value of X? Or do I have to do second value of X minus first value of X?
Second value.
Excellent. Second value, oops, and then I write a Y. It's okay, my brain is still attached, barely. All right, so second value of X minus first value of X would equal, well, what is our second value of X? Say the number, class.
2.
It is a 2. So write your 2 first. Then write what operation symbol? Minus. And then look for your first value of X, which is what, class? 3. So write your 3. Oh my gosh, again, so very challenging, but be careful you go and understand you're putting the 2 in first. 2 minus 3 equals what? Say it.
-1.
Oh, I love that you didn't fall for it. You realized it was a negative one, not a regular one. So when I write out to the side my changes in Y, 1, over my changes in X, -1, but wait, whenever you guys are doing a fraction where you see a negative in only one part of it, erase that negative. Do this now, everybody in this room. Slide the negative sign into the center of your space in front of the entire fraction. They will not accept an answer where you have a negative in a single numerator or denominator. If there's only one in the whole fraction, you slide it in front of the whole fraction, okay? Now tell me, is this what I would type for my answer? No, because 1 over 1 is equivalent to what? It is equivalent to 1. Therefore, my final answer would be -1. And that is for item number 4. Wave at me if you are understanding so far. This isn't so terrible, is it? Okay? Same thing takes effect in a moment. I'm not going to walk you through this one. But when you are working number 3, changes in Y will be changes in any 2 of these Y's. I'm not even kidding. If you wanted to go from this Y to this Y, you could. You would then just have to go from this X to this X. Are you following the patterns? It's just entirely up to you. So I'm not going to talk about that any further, but I do want to talk about some items you need to be familiar with for when you get to, I'll just give you this hint. It's either number 5 or number 6. Watch. When you solve, in fact, I think it is number 5. So we're going to come back to that in just a moment because I do want to show you guys, you have got to look at an example. They give you several pages back, but they give you way more information than you need. Okay, enjoy Miss Rose's amazing artistic skills. That's supposed to be a human laying horizontally on their bed. I'm terrible at art. What can I say? Okay, I was trying to give them nice long legs and a nice long body, but I accidentally gave them a crazy long neck. I know, it's more like an alien than a human. I'm so sorry. But here's the method. Horizontal lines equals 0 slope. Do you see your horizontal line over here? And they have it labeled as 0 slope. So what is the slope of a horizontal line? It is 0. And that's why I wrote that 0 there. But let's talk about it a little bit more. So pick any two spots. Well, I'll be picky. Pick the two that I picked. Right now, plot those 2 points on that horizontal line. All right, class, so pick the lower spot. I don't know what to pick, anywhere. Rise until you get to the level of the other spot. How many steps do you need to rise? 0. So write down 0 as your rise number. Do you follow? Okay. Now from the 0 rise, head to the other dot. Run. Boom. I headed to the right, so it's positive. How many spaces? 1. Now, y'all, you know what? I'm going to let you pretend it was 2 spaces just because I want to help explain something. So I'm going to go 2 spaces over. If I have 0 over 2, do you know what that represents? It represents 0 halves. Have you ever taken a pie and you slice it in half and you ate half of it? No, of course not. Maybe a pizza, though. Have you ever had a pizza? You slice it in half and you're like, everybody else go away, half of this is mine. Anybody ever eaten half a pizza on there? Who am I kidding? I've eaten a whole pizza before. Now, it was kind of small, but I ate the whole one. When I was your age, too. I guess I was going to say I was growing, but I never did that. Who are we kidding? Anyway, it had 6 slices, and I told my family, this is all mine. You guys go away, leave me alone. I ate the whole pizza. It was so good, too. Okay, but we're going to pretend we split it in half. So how many sections are there when you split something in half?
2.
There are 2. What if I said, hey guys, I split all my pizzas into 2 equal slices each, but I walked back to the table and all I could find there was 0 halves. So here's the tricky question. How many pizza slices could I find on that table, class? 0. So what does 0 halves actually mean?
0.
It actually means 0. So do you follow that when you are dealing with a horizontal line, you are dealing with a 0 slope? Do you follow? Take 2 of the points. What if I did keep these 2 points right here? What is the ordered pair label for the first ordered point? How far did I go from point of origin? 1 step left, so that's negative 1. How high up is it from?
3.
And I should have, a moment ago, I apologize, a moment ago I should have pointed from right here, point of origin. Okay, but it still was negative 1, and then up 3. So a positive 3. Do you follow? That is the ordered pair for this plotted point. Okay, what is the ordered pair for this plotted point? Raise your hand if you know. Go.
1, 3.
It would be over to the right 1, up 3, so 1, 3. So which piece is the same when it is a 0 pair? Which coordinate is the same? The y. So if you notice you have a y coordinate that matches, and think about it. What are the changes in y? What's 3 minus 3? 0. And then who cares what negative 1 minus 1 is? Because no matter what number it is, it would still be 0 pieces of that number. Do you follow? Okay, so if you've got 0 in the numerator, what's your overall slope? 0. All right, now let's cast our eyes down to the vertical section. Vertical lines are undefined. This is hard for a lot of kids to understand, so follow me here. It will help if you look up and listen. I don't mind if you're writing notes, that's fine. But make sure you're writing notes about this. So let's take a look at our undefined slope. Actually, I will go ahead and draw a line over that again. And please pick, this time, let's do a dot here and a dot here. Can everybody see those? Can you please replicate those 2 dots on my vertical line? Now let's begin by doing rise over run. Start at your lower dot, rise to your upper dot. How many? 2. So please write a 2. And then once we've gotten to the level of the upper dot, how far do we run? 0. So remember earlier, we talked about how the denominator tells us how many pieces the pizza is split into. Can you even have a pizza split into 0 parts? No. If you cannot do it, then it is undefined, because you cannot define it. You can't even describe it happening because it cannot be done. You cannot take any object and split it into 0 equal parts. Do you follow? So as soon as you realize there's a 0 on the bottom, you say, oh, no, that cannot be done. I cannot split something into 0 equal parts. So it's not possible to have 2 parts out of 0 equal parts. Is it possible? No. So if you say it's impossible, you have to say it is what? Undefined. Do you feel like this is making sense? Okay, there's only one more item I want to talk to you about before you guys, oh, we're about to go, aren't we? Yeah. Shortly. Okay, there's one more thing I need to point out, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing. When you do changes in x over y, or when you do rise over run on number 2, what does each space count as? 20s. So don't forget that. All right, I wish you well. Bye, guys.